So the final part of this podcast, just going to talk a little bit about kind of my hope for humanity, what might essentially come from this. So, I've been out for a few walks around the village here in rural England, and it's nice actually seeing people out and about, keeping that respectful distance. Almost what I do think is interesting is that even though we're sort of having this social distancing, that people probably on average are talking to others more than they would otherwise. So it's almost like now you're told that you can't go and talk to that person. You almost have this will. You see somebody mowing the lawn in the garden, you want to shout at them and just let them know that you're there. So I think that's nice. I see a lot of people spending family time, so families going out on walks together. I see kids playing in the gardens with their parents. Obviously, a lot of this has been enabled by people not going to work, so it's kind of like those couple of weeks of summer, but extended over a long period of time. It's also nice that we actually have decent weather in the UK, so that's kind of cool. Maybe that's the Earth's way of thanking us for not polluting it any longer by sort of stopping a lot of the heavy production in the factories. The Earth is smiling at us with the blue skies and allowing that sun to come through. So there are going to be huge benefits in terms of the environment from this. I won't show you the data, but if you're interested, there's been a lot of studies looked at. European Space Agency have done a lot of monitoring on the Earth observation satellites to show how the lack of production in China and in other parts, like for instance in northern Italy, where we have a lot of data, you see how clear the CO2 levels drop, over a period of say 2 months where the factories are all closed. So I think we're all very much on board. We all know that human activity is massively damaging the environment, and we can even show you the data that shows if you cut the flights by half and you close the factories for a few weeks, that the Earth starts to breathe again, right? It's like a smoker stopping smoking for a few weeks and letting their lungs recover. So we're kind of letting the Earth recover, and so that's definitely a huge silver lining. So that's my big hope for humanity. I think socially, the fact that people are spending more time together, they're probably doing things that they always wanted to do, but they never thought they would, like reading books or learning an instrument, making a website, whatever it is that they're doing, that hobby that they never pursued, or that entrepreneurial activity that they just wish that they had a few weeks to dedicate some time to outside of work. Well, now you start to see people having that opportunity, and I hope that a lot of good comes from that. But also just be able to take some time off. I think a lot of people, they do look forward to their couple of weeks of holiday every year, and they do maybe take a few weekend breaks here or there. But how often is it that people get to have long periods of time where they can just completely switch off and kind of reassess a little bit? So I hope that people take the opportunity over the next few months to think about their life goals, think about what it is they want from life, maybe what skills they think they need to develop for the next chapter, or what was that one country I always wanted to go to, or was that one bucket list thing that I never thought I would do, but now actually I'm gonna think about how I take the steps to do it. So yeah, I hope there is some major silver linings that come from this, and maybe in a strange way, you see the global economy around the world is going to absolutely tank, but maybe people will just go, fuck it a little bit, like it's not all about capitalism, it's not all about making money and GDP, and actually there's better measures for us to evaluate what constitutes as good quality life. And so, people actually talking to each other out on the street, and people doing crafts and playing with their children, and kind of really taking stock of what's important in life, that there is nothing more important than health, and there is nothing better than helping someone else, helping that person that's vulnerable, etc. So yeah, I really hope that we can use the next few months to just reassess a little bit what it means to be a good human being, and how we can kind of maybe reevaluate society a little bit, and maybe adjust from the kind of the bullet train speed of which we're heading towards, which I think was just a world that was getting, in my view, worse by every generation. Maybe we can take a step back and reevaluate. So that's my hope for humanity. And I kind of hope that whoever is watching this, that you kind of enjoy the next few months, even though it's hard and it's strange, but it's also kind of an opportunity as well. So we have to try and make the most of everything that life throws at us.